Hi everyone, welcome. It's Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, so it's time for Stamping with Denise. I'm so glad you're here with me tonight. Just checking my settings here. I think we are good to go. Hope everybody had a great weekend and a great beginning to your week. If you're new here, welcome. If you like my video, my project that I am showing you tonight, please share my video and comment. Share down in the comments. And everyone that does that, their name will be entered in a drawing to win the project I work on tonight. Last week I showed you these really simple but yet sophisticated looking cards. And because she did just those things, she shared my video, she commented, shared, and her name was drawn. This card's gonna go to Denise Meckling. So Denise, I will get this card out to you very, very soon. Thank you so much for sharing. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. And once you do that, please hit that little blue bell and you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video, which is most every Monday evening. So can you believe it's the end of June already? Oh, summer's just going way too fast for me. But anyway, I have a very fun, summery kind of card that we are going to work on tonight. And it's got a fun technique that I think you're going to like. So I'm trying to see if there's anything else I need to tell you before we get started. I don't think so. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to my hands and show you what tonight's project is. Okay, where's the card? Oh, here it is. Tonight we are going to be using the Sunrise Sailing bundle. This is an online exclusive. And whoops, that's not it. It comes with a set of dies. It comes with a stamp set, and it comes with a hybrid embossing folder. So what the hybrid means is that it can cut and emboss at the same time. So you can put that right there like that die, put your paper in there, run it through your embossing machine. It makes beautiful. You can cut it out that way. You can, there's just so many things you can do with it. But I'm going to show you something a little different tonight. We're actually not using these dies, but we will be using the embossing folder. And while we're talking about dies, this piece right here that I have cut out, I used the Textured Notes dies. These are also an online exclusive, and I used this die to cut out this piece. I mean, it could be just a simple rectangular piece of paper, but I love these dies because each one has a different border on it. And so you can get a little bit of different look, a different decoration, but they all coordinate really well, and they're just a really versatile set. This is one that is going to be a keeper for me for sure. Oh, I wish I'd have brought over some of the other cards I'd made with this set. If I might get those yet, but we're going to get started. This stamp set has got some great sentiments. Happy retirement, best wishes, congratulations, you deserve the best, you're destined for great things, and ahoy. We've got a reflection for the water. That's for the sail. This is for the boat. And I think you can make some great masculine cards with this, although there's nothing masculine about it. It could also be quite feminine too. So, but this tonight, this is going to be the star of the show for this card. So I've used Basic Beige on Basic Beige, and I'm going to show you how you do this. You see how there's a white cast to it? We're applying ink to the embossing folder and then running it through our die machine, our stamping, cut, and emboss machine, and it just is a cool effect. So why don't we start out with that? Again, I said Basic Beige, 8.5 by 5.5 folded in half. I'll go ahead and do that. And we will fold this. This piece of basic beige is 3 3/4 by 5, and this is what we're going to run through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm going to set some things out of the way. I'm going to take the embossing folder. We are going to ink this side of the embossing folder because this is what's going to be on the front part of our card. We're going to put ink on it. We'll put the paper on, close it up, and run it through the machine. We use the white craft ink. Mine just happens to be the old style ink pads. And again, this, think about where you want this. You can see the sailboat. So I'm gonna want this pretty far to the top. We'll still have plenty of texture at the bottom for the waves, but we want to make sure we get all of our boat in. And so you don't have to ink up the whole thing. This can get messy. I wouldn't do this in a class simply because of the mess. If you've got 5, 6, 10 people doing it, it would get quite messy, but I'm just going to give this some good inking up here. I just want to make sure that the top's good and inked. And actually my ink pad probably needs to be inked up, but it's good that it's not too oversaturated. Okay, let's see. We're going to put this on here. I'm going to close this up. Hold on here. Try not to move that. Okay. Then I had to bring my big Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine over. This embossing folder is considered a 3D embossing folder. So we use plate number 4 on the top, and we use plate the base on the bottom. Remember, you put embossing folders in hinge first, right here. Sorry guys, so that you don't blow out your embossing folder. I've never done it, but I've seen it done. Okay, so we're gonna do this, we're gonna run this through. Run, run, run. And this moves very smoothly through here. Let me move that out of the way. Oh, I always hate bringing that over here because it's so heavy. But, okay. Get those out of the way. And look at that. And there we go. There's our card. Now we're going to let this sit for a couple minutes. We want to make sure it's good and dry. I may even run the heat gun over it. We're going to do a few more things before we assemble our card, and maybe that'll give this time to dry, and I'll have to wash this a little later. I'll just probably clean it up, use some water on a paper towel and wipe it down. But I'm going to set it over here out of the way so I don't get ink all over everything. Okay, we're going to set that over there. Next, okay, here's the card we're making. We are going to stamp our sentiment. It says Best Wishes. So it's a good all-purpose sentiment. Again, this is the piece I have die cut from that set of dies that I showed you. And because I'm going to put a bow here, I'm going to go just a little bit right of center for my sentiment. And I'm going to try again, see if I can get that moved a little bit on me. It's not exactly, it's a little bit crooked. It's okay, but I want it better. Let's see. That's why when I pre-cut pieces, that's why I always bring a couple with me. That's a little better. Not as good as I did on that card, but anyway. Put that over here. I'll set this over here. Here we go. There's that. Okay, now we'll go ahead and get started. We'll tie our bow. This is some Misty Moonlight ribbon, It's part of a 2-pack. It's called Misty, Moonlight, and White 1/4 inch starter ribbon pack. Something that you need to know, although there's two spools of ribbon in here, they each only have 2 yards of ribbon. So these are not as big a rolls of ribbon as we're used to. So just be aware of that. I mean, it may be perfectly fine, and for the casual stamper, it's probably fine. But if you're somebody who is doing classes and stuff, it's definitely not enough for a class. So I'm gonna make my bow, make the rabbit ears and tie them together. And then I just kind of, you know, adjust my ribbon accordingly. You know, I just kind of work it until it's about the size I want it. I usually do this attached, but this was a loose piece off of another bolt to that ribbon. So let's see, let's put that here. Let's cut this off here. Let me see, I don't like that angle there. Let's do it a little bit. That's better. Okay, very good. And I like doing it that way, making my bow. Yeah, I make 2 loops and then tie them together, because it doesn't make as bulky of a knot there. Okay, let's see. Are we dry here? You know what? It's not quite dry yet. Hold on. I'm going to get my heat gun and just give it a little blast. This will take just a second. Okay. Sorry, folks. Here we go. I just want to make sure we're good and dry here. There we go. There we are. Now we're good. So that means I can attach this piece to the front with dimensionals. Okay, so we'll hope it's all dry now. Where's my dimensionals at? Okay. 1, 2. And like you've heard me say this before, when I have a little bit bigger panel like this, I like to put a 1 or 2 in the middle just for some support, especially as it goes through the mail. I see I have white ink on my finger. I hope I don't have it all over my mat. Okay, good. Looks like I'm dry here. Let's put this on here. Perfect. Yeah, and you can see that I mean, there's some ink kind of here on the sky part, but I think it is just fine. It doesn't detract from it at all. I have a little more ink on this one than I have on this one, but I think it's okay. Since this level, or this layer, is up on dimensionals, I'm going to put this flat on here, because when I'm mailing, I'm very conscious of how thick it is, because there are some limits in terms of how thick an envelope can be to be able to be machine canceled. And if it has to be hand canceled, it costs extra for postage. So let's see. There we go. So I try to do no more than 1 layer of dimensionals. Occasionally a second one sneaks in there. Okay, we're going to take the bow that we tied just a little bit ago, pick up a glue dot, and use that on our card right there. And we're going to put some embellishments on there. These are the Opal Rounds Assortment. I really like this. I think this is Night and Navy, Daffodil Delight, and white or clear, I think is the color. I didn't write it on here. But I just think, like I said, depending what color you did this in, it could be masculine or feminine. It doesn't really make much difference. Sailboats or sailboats. Let's put one of these here. Let's put one here. Now, I think this would be really, really cool to be done in a darker color. I wonder what color you could do it in. You could do it in the navy with the white. You know, what's basic beige would be Night of Navy. And you have the white ink. I think that would look really cool too. And maybe even some more sea-like colors, or like, oh, what am I thinking about? Lost Lagoon might be pretty. Coastal Cabana. Pool Party. Pool Party might not be dark enough. I'm looking for a little darker color. But there we go. That was really a simple card, but I think it's got a lot of wow. So let me know what you think. Is this a card you do? Do you have this set? Have you tried this before? If you haven't, give it a try. It is a really fun technique. You can do it with other embossing folders too. So I hope you like it, and I will see you next Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern for Stamping with Denise. Bye, everybody.